Hey, how you doing? It's Will here with Will's Rant. And man, have you seen all the craziness that Trump has sent to LA? I mean, Trump has basically declared war on LA. Let the battle for LA begin. That guy, man, I mean, first of all, let's just talk about the immigrant situation, right? I mean, what happened with January 6th? Where was the National Guard then? Where was the Insurrection Act then? When you had actual insurrectionists like trying to take over the country. Oh, but it's okay because those are white guys. White guys can do whatever the hell they want to do, obviously, right? So anyway, as you probably know, Trump needs some excuse to attack California, to attack LA, right? So what do these idiots do? They say, oh, I know, they had a meeting. Oh, I know, how can we get those people? How can we have the power? We need to be able to give the president all the power so he can do whatever he wants with no opposition. To the heart of immigrant communities, they'll get so, let's drag kids' parents out of school graduations. Let's drag people out of work. Let's go to Home Depot and round up everybody that looks Hispanic. But wait, shouldn't we check IDs and find out if they're actually legally here? No, it doesn't matter. Just round them all up. They're just Hispanic anyway. We're gonna be getting rid of all those people anyway. Okay, yeah, sounds like a plan. Then everyone will get really pissed off and start rioting and throwing rocks and stuff, and that'll give us the perfect excuse to send in the National Guard and the Marines and declare the Insurrection Act for the insurrection. Yeah, y'all are y'all evil. Trump and them are just so freaking evil, man. I mean, it's just unbelievable, right? And you don't care if they're, sure, maybe they are, here illegally, but do you have to be a freaking animal and go take parents out of their school graduation and traumatize these kids? Oh, who cares? Because I only care about myself and, I'm gonna be great, right? Like, who cares about other people? Who cares about those families? Y'all are gonna get, those people are gonna get theirs one day. There is such a thing as like karma or, reap what you sow, right? They don't, like, Trump is so evil. Like, he doesn't care about anybody, right? Oh my God. Anyway, so this is what they're doing. So people, that plan is happening, right? And so now he done sent the National Guard over here to protect the federal buildings. And then Fox News shows it like, oh my God, LA is in total chaos. Send even more troops. These people, these MAGA people are just so freaking stupid, right? It's just like, oh, whatever Trump wants because I'm an idiot. It's just unbelievable, man. He doesn't care about MAGA. He doesn't even really care about white people. He's just using all these different groups to get into power. Just like he used the Hispanics to get elected because, they didn't want to vote for a black woman. And he used even the Islamic people over in Michigan and the Middle East people from over in Michigan. He even used those fools. I mean, dang, he did a freaking Islamic, a blockade last time. And then these fools gonna go and elect him again because they didn't like Biden. Biden was like freaking a piece of cake compared to this guy. First of all, this dude ain't even leaving. And yeah, it's just bad. He used all those groups. And then just like in Star Wars, when the Emperor finally, got into power, then he basically was, just lined up all his allies and murdered them all. Had, Anakin go murder them all. So, that's what Trump's doing now. He just said, I'm sending 700 Cubans back to Cuba. I'm putting in another, no flight thing for people from Middle East countries. I mean, how stupid can y'all be? God, like, wake the freak up. Like, use some common sense. Go get some freaking critical thinking skills. I mean, how can this buffoon that's basically a baby, a spoiled baby who's never freaking had to be accountable to anyone, to anything in his entire life, become the president of the country and use all his evil warlock, just say no. When Hitler was in Germany, it took millions of Germans to help make that giant Nazi machine work. It wasn't like Hitler went out doing everything. He just sat in an office. I mean, Obama and Biden, deported millions of people. So it's not about that. It's the way they're going about it. Sure, you can enforce immigration laws, but you can, you don't have to grab some guy that's been here for 10 years, that's been following all the rules and goes to his immigration hearing. And then when he comes out of court, they like grab him from a bush and take him away. Like, that's freaking evil, man. This is freaking ethnic cleansing, right? They just want to ethnically cleanse all the non-white people out and enslave everybody else. That's exactly what they want to do. And if you're hearing this and you're just an ordinary person, you need to get out your get off your butt and get out there and fight, like do something, protest, call your senator, your congressman, send emails. At the minimum, you could just repost stuff on social media and wake up your other friends and family. Americans have been way too complacent, especially people in Texas and stuff. Like, dude, I'm from Texas. Do they ever do anything but go to work? Like, the whole country's in flames and everyone's up in arms, and there's people in Texas like, well, I'm going to work. Like, it's coming for you too. That dude only cares about himself. He's coming for everybody. Unless you're a conservative white male, then maybe you're okay. But he don't even care about them. He's just using the Christian nationalists and the white disgruntled, working class and all these different subgroups. He's just using them. He's like chess pieces. How can I use this to get into power and become the emperor? It's just like Star Wars, man. I mean, George Lucas must have got some kind of freaking spiritual insight or something to like Star Wars is basically what's happening. It's just the galaxy was a metaphor for our country, I mean, it's just bad. Right? And I just don't, y'all need to, people need to wake up, God, this is so bad. And those freaking traitors like, Rubio and that FBI dude, that look like they just grabbed him out of the Texas bush country, or no, not him, the Homeland Security guy, talking about he's gonna arrest how can you be the Homeland Security guy and say you're gonna arrest the governor and the mayor? Like that's freaking Nazi, secret police stuff, which is what Homeland Security was set up for in the first place. This was all part of a bigger plot from the very beginning, going all the way back to the 9/11 when they put in the Patriot Act. This is all part of it. When George Bush got there and said, yeah, it's a new world order where we're going to rule you. Like that's exactly what's going on. And now we're seeing it play out. And now they've got their techno fingers and tentacles in all of our lives. It's really bad. And that's why y'all need to get out there and fight. I mean, it's just bad. Do whatever you can. Everyone can do something, right? Like, I don't have nothing and I'm doing stuff. Like, what's your excuse, man? I watched Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I saw that scene again in episode 4 where, Luke's, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they get the message from Princess Leia after all those people died to get the plans to him. And then he's like, oh, we got to go to Alderaan. And then, Luke was like, oh, man, I got chores to do at home. Oh, my gosh, I'd love to get involved, but I can't. I got work to do, right? Like, this is what they count on, right? Just, you got to take a day off work and go and do whatever to help the cause, right? Then Luke goes and his aunt and uncle been murdered by the space Nazis. And then he's like, okay, I'll be a Jedi like my father. It's like, that's what it took, huh? Look, we all got bills to pay. I get it, but you got to freaking wake up and get into the situation before it comes to you. The writer of Andor had a great saying, it's like before history comes knocking on your door, right? I get it now. All the education they taught us about World War II and Nazi Germany and stuff, and it's like, and here we are in that exact moment and dealing with actual Nazis. These people are freaking Nazis, neo-Nazis, Nazis, whatever. I mean, they literally get up there for the millions of people and do a freaking Heil Hitler salute, and then got the nerve to turn around and say it wasn't that. Like, they really think we're that dumb. Like, what on earth? We're gonna show them that we're not that dumb. We're gonna make them realize, wake up to what's really going on. This has to stop. This utter freaking nonsense has to stop. Trump is making the country like a freaking laughing stock. It's like, first of all, how did you people, assuming you did elect him and they didn't cheat, what they probably did, how on earth did you people elect this buffoon to be your leader? Like, how on earth? Like, they're just looking at us like the fools that we are. He played y'all. He's evil. He might be the third Antichrist. I don't think he is. I think it's Putin. But whatever. He's in that club with them. Just pure freaking evil. They're out there dragging kids and families and mothers and fathers out of their work and schools and stuff. And real people are getting really hurt. Can you imagine? You're a kid coming home and you find out that your parents have been taken away and you might never see them again. Like, what are you going to do? What was Trump doing? Oh, he's golfing. Ha 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 ha. Trying to show us his power, right? He can golf while he tortures others, right? Man, that guy is gonna pay in hell big time because, according to people who have died and come back, there was a guy in prison who died and came back, and he said basically everything he did came back to him. Like, he had to feel the pain of everyone he hurt. Can you imagine? Trump's gonna feel all that pain. Anyway, this LA thing is just unbelievable. I haven't even looked at the news today because I don't want to get all riled up, you know? But the way that like Fox News and them are spinning this, like this is bad. So this is the first battle for America. Everyone needs to go to LA, help LA, do whatever you can, protest in your own city, whatever, because this is just the first. This was all part of a plot. They were planning this the whole time, you know, before Trump even got elected. That's another video. Stay tuned. I'm gonna get to it. But that's, you know, that's all I got to say right now about this LA thing. It's like, this is bad, real bad. And like, you know, for Trump to freaking, you know, illegally, because, you know, I think it's something Hamatatis, whatever, law that he was able to sneak the, you know, commandeer the California National Guard. That hasn't been done since the 1960s for civil rights. So he's done that, but it said in the fine print, the governor never gave no coordination, so it's technically illegal. So all those National Guards people that actually listened to him and went out there, you're breaking the freaking law. You're not supposed to go out there, right? Wake up. What do you care about? You know, you say you took an oath, you know? LA said they can handle the situation. We've had way worse protests and stuff than this, you know? So, I mean, unlike Germany, where, you know, the whole country was unified around Hitler. I mean, not the whole country, he killed everyone else, but enough. In this case, that's not the case. And they don't have us all in one place, and we don't all agree. And so it's gonna be easy to fight back, right? But they got a plan. Watch my other videos. It's too much to cover in one video. I don't want this to be too long. I want to cover the whole thing. This plot thickens. This plot is way, way worse than you ever imagined. All right, out. Hey, like, subscribe, tell your friends, save the world, and let me know what you think in the comments.